Hey everybody, today I want to talk a bit about the healing process, specifically when dealing with traumatic things that didn't directly involve you, but may have directly affected you. I pray that this encourages you on your healing journey. There's this kind of bondage that comes from memories that you don't fully possess. These aren't memories you personally witnessed in detail, but instead it's fragments and pieces of it. You have just enough information for your brain to begin filling in gaps and creating mental movies that replay over and over and over. We think things like, what if this happened? Maybe that's how it happened. How could they do this to me? How do I compare? And then we have a million other thoughts along with it. Even when parts of the story are real, the mind will fabricate the missing scenes because the mind doesn't like to not know things. And those imagined details that we come up with can wound just as deeply as the facts do. It's exhausting. It creates insecurity, fear, anxiety, suspicion. It keeps us on guard, waiting for the next wound, wondering if history is going to repeat itself. And when you're a Christian, the hardest part of all of this is that you already know what to do spiritually, and you do it. But these traumatic events still haunt you at times, and then it feels like you're failing at surrender. You've prayed about it, you've forgiven, you lay it down at the feet of Jesus. You've asked God to heal your heart, and you continue to do those things. And for a moment, you feel free. You truly feel free. But then something triggers that pain again. Maybe it's a place or a song or a thing or a memory. Sometimes it's even a person that you still have to see. And suddenly it feels like there's this cage that's rising up from the ground to trap you all over again. That is not failure. You need to understand that's not failure of surrender. That's the difficult reality of being a human being. See, healing doesn't always happen in a straight line. It rarely happens in a straight line. Trauma, it leaves scars, and scars can ache even after forgiveness has already taken place. But here's the hope. Just because the pain resurfaces doesn't mean that God has abandoned your healing process or that you're failing at it. It doesn't mean that your forgiveness wasn't real. It doesn't mean that you're back where you started from. What it means is that the wound is still being healed by the hands of Jesus. You know, we often try to control things around us, but we can't always control what happens to us directly or indirectly. And we can't erase painful memories or undo scars that are left behind by those around us and by things that happen to us. But what we can do is choose where we run with our pain. We can either allow bitterness, fear, and suspicion to keep us imprisoned, or we can continue surrendering those wounds to God over and over again, trusting Him to redeem what hurt us. Sometimes surrender is not a one-time moment. Sometimes, especially in situations like these, it might be daily. It might even be hourly. But the beautiful thing is this: even in the moments where the wound still aches, we're not alone in it. See, Jesus is not intimidated by our grief. He's not frustrated by our triggers. He's not angry that healing takes time and we have to bring it to Him over and over again. Instead, He's patient. He listens, He stays, He comforts, He understands completely, and He continues gently leading us towards freedom. So today, if you're struggling with some things that keep resurfacing, if you're feeling like a failure, if you're feeling like Satan is just going at you, trying to get you stuck in bondage to whatever situation is bogging you down, understand that you're not failing. You may have given it to God and it may have resurfaced. Give it to Him again. He'll walk you through it this time just like He did last time, because we serve a God who loves us. We serve a God who wants us to be healed, but He also understands the humanness that we have, that it takes some time to heal. And it's not always going to be on a timeline that we even want it to be on. Just give it to Jesus. Amen.